to own it. Just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here. Oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
I'll stop being fly when that lair done. Move forward, pop off. Locks, color, hot sauce. Just got my hair done. I should be the dopest. All the dope I did. Jay's like Khaled. Did you believe God did? Blown sitting on the cloud just like a pilot. No girls while I'm with my girl, phone on silent. You know I go in, but I'm out here wild. Got a bag so loud that I can't keep quiet. Her thong on Prada, bro, I can't see nada. Splash, no, I big drip like a sea otter. Blow eyes so red that I can't see out 'em. Hey, mommy got body, hit it like a pinata. Big backwood, took two to the lung. If it ain't dog, baby, who do you pug? Dirty money got these two in the tub. Hey, Alexa, play YG, who do you love? Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that. Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that. They want a feature, gotta get paid first. I'm about to roll, but I'ma roll a J first. And stop with that cap, you ain't original. You saying what he's saying like a Drake verse. Everybody wanna drip, nah, I bet I lake first. What you want, bake? I'm getting cake first. I'ma take the whole thing before I ever take turns. Go in the safe like, hey, I hit the base first. I'm ahead, I need head, she in that face first. Where I lay that pipe down, she gon' need a safe word. Bet I don't pay for it, I know y'all prayed for it. Hey, who grading bars? I'ma need me an A for it. A, hold up, every day my IG go up. I know you sick of me going throw up. Big bags, big bottles getting poured. Got a closet full of a whole lot of ish you can't afford. Hold up. Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that. Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that. Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that. Got him driving by a point where I stay at. They assuming that I play and I don't play that. Anything I do to DJ, play that. I ain't got a problem, but if you do, you should say that.
Thank you for coming on Everything Sparkle. I'm so happy to finally have you here.
I'm happy to be here. It's official.
It's official.
Yeah, definitely.
You've done so much stuff. So tell our viewers who you are and what you've been up to.
Well, for those that don't know, my name is Billy Sales, better known as the GOAT, at the GOAT Billy Sales on Instagram. And I'm kind of a jack of all trades, besides being an artist first and foremost. I'm an artist, I shoot videos, produce my own music, create TV shows and different ventures like that. So partner up with a couple of guys, and we have a lot going on. I'm an event host, so I host a lot of events in the Central Valley, a lot of concerts and stuff like that. I try to stay busy.
Aren't you also like a booking manager agent?
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of all falls under the same hat. Like, it's kind of everything. So I have a manager for my music, for me being an artist, but also I do a show called Flow TV where I host, and so we do book other artists and go out to their events, film their live performances and stuff like that, and then wrap that up to a 30-minute hour show sometimes, and give the people out there a look at what's new, up and coming artists and sign artists, events that they don't know about in the Central Valley, stuff like that.
Right on. So what's going on with Channel 53?
Yeah, blessed. 53 has actually blessed us and taken our show on Flow TV. I say ours, me and my partner, Cali Boy Bam, who runs and owns the local store out of Visalia. So yeah, we're just taking it from the platform we had it. We were doing it strictly independent on YouTube, actually created it through COVID. And some important people seen it and believed in it. And so now My 53 is gonna pick it up. We're gonna get a primetime spot, looks like Friday, Saturday night. And hopefully after a few months, we'll be putting that on every day and creating more. So
it's Visalia. Tell us a little bit about the background of the show.
So yeah, Flow TV, finally letting others win. Created that during man, we were all going through that pandemic, you know,
Right,
through COVID.
right.
So we had a lot of time to kind of create ideas, and I was doing a lot of recording. And I've always wanted to kind of jump behind the scenes where, you know, creating and producing my own shows and stuff like that, because I'm like I said, the jack of all trades. So the camera, me shooting videos and doing stuff like that, it all comes into the same pot, right? So yeah, I grew up to shows like 106 in Park and MTV back in the day,
Right.
where they played actual music on a music station. And
Back
it
in the
wasn't-
good days.
Yeah. It wasn't news or nothing like that.
Right.
So that was the premise behind it, and I wanted to kind of give back to the artists like myself. I've been doing music almost 20 years straight, where, you know, we don't have that big machine that pushes us out there. So, you know, came together great. We get out there, we interview up and coming artists, indie artists, you know, show their struggle, show how much hard work it, you know, takes to get where you need to want to go, and turned it into a 30-minute show, put it on YouTube. Before I knew it, people were calling from all over the country, like, you know, wanted to, you know, showcase their music and stuff like that. So it happened at the right time. I'm blessed to be a part of it. Like I said, I'm just a vessel of trying to create, you know, good content.
So
for
do you go to
people.
different places or different shows, or you have a location?
No, different places.
Okay.
It's my part is predominantly shot out of a studio, but then we go on location. Like, we have a segment where it's local, the local artist of the week. So like I said, we'll go to the local store in Visalia, where there's a shoe store there that sells, you know, shoes like I have on, you know, the Jordan shoes that these kids like, you know. And we bring the artist there, we sit them down, they can look around the store and
I
talk
love
about
that.
shoes.
That's kind of cool.
You know, fashion, music, it all goes
Oh, it's
hand
great
in
because you're
hand,
bringing
you know what I'm saying?
visibility to these
Exactly,
stores
exactly
too,
right.
as well as the artists. I love that. That's a great
Yes,
idea.
ma'am. Thank you.
So My 53. So when's this going to launch?
So we're looking to get it first episode before Halloween. I'm praying, you know, the week before Halloween, maybe mid-October. We have a lot of episodes to shoot, still tying into a lot of artists, but it's going good. Also have Flow TV Kids that's coming out after that, so it's the same platform but for children. You know, showing kids what they do. You know, there's a lot of kids out there making music behind the cameras, writers, poets. You know, we don't showcase that enough. You know, you have to go to a YouTube or something and kind of look it up.
Right.
So I'm trying to bottleneck that whole situation and have a platform where you can come see, you know, these songs are made by kids. These ideas are, you know, are from children, you know, and I think it's very important to show the youth what they can do. Like, you know, you can pretty much do anything you put your mind into it, you know. I mean, I've been jumping around for so many years, but it taught me to kind of keep a level head and not be afraid to try different things, you know. So it works out pretty good.
I love that.
Yeah.
And as far as your music, where can we listen to it, and where does it drop? If
Yeah,
it
Billy
drops?
Sells, BillySells.com. The website is official, so www.billysells.com. You guys check that out. Also, I'm everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. Cataloging music is incredible. There's pretty much something for everybody. I'm from Venice Beach, so I came up in just the music background, you know, performing a lot. So yeah, BillySells.com will lead you to everything me. But if you didn't, you know, if you don't want to stumble upon the website, you could Google Billy Sells. You can go to Tidal.
Well, can I listen to like on Apple Music
Apple
or something?
Music,
Okay,
iTunes,
so I can
anywhere, pretty much anywhere music sold.
Because I'm gonna put you in my playlist of like
I
other things.
appreciate
That's why
that.
I like
Yep,
them. Like,
I appreciate that. Do that, yes, ma'am.
That's so awesome. And so, where can we see your performance? I know you're super busy, but when do you get time to perform?
Yeah,
When
I
do
have
you
a
drop
few.
that?
I have a few big shows coming up. Actually, I'm in Fresno on the 1st at the Brewery, Fresno Brewery.
Okay.
We're doing a show there. I'm doing a show with Coney, Nefta Farrell's coming up. I also have another show on the 8th. I believe that's, I don't want to confuse the dates, Little Kayla. So I'll be in Fresno for the next few weeks, and then out to Reno for a big show for Halloween with John Hart and a few other guys out there. So should be really fun.
How do you find the time to like go and travel and then have your show back here? And
My
then
wife,
do
she
it?
kicks me out of the house all the time, so you know.
Oh, well, there's that.
No, I mean, you know, I'm blessed. I mean, it's just a situation where you kind of make time. You still want to, you know, balance your life out. Of course, you know, everybody has things to do, but I try to get involved in as much as I can. You know what I mean? Especially if it's positive and I can do something to help out. That's my goal. My overall mindset in the future is, I do want to be that person, that mogul who can reach back and help everybody else and make connections where I can, hey, you have an idea for a show, I have experience in that, or you want to make music, I have experience in that. And I think more artists need some, people like that, like you, showcasing, me. You didn't have to do that, so I'm actually returning that favor back to other people. And at the same time, I'm learning as an artist. You can always get better. I give it up to God. I'm just blessed to be in the right places at the right time.
How did you get started in music? Were you a kid yourself when you started all that?
I love music my whole life. Coming from a kind of hippie family, Venice Beach, street performers and stuff like that. It came to me because I was young and I saw what music brought to people, like how it influenced people and made people feel good or made them think. And I just challenged myself one day. I said, I bet you I can do that. And from that moment, it kind of was like everything else. Like, I didn't go to school to shoot videos. I challenged myself. I said, let me pick up a camera and see what I can do. Let me try to figure this out. So I taught myself that. I taught myself to produce all my own music. I'm a graphic design major by trade, so I went to school for graphic design, and that kind of, it literally fell into place with everything else. I designed CD covers.
Right.
And, so it's meant to be. My day job, I work with special needs kids, so my passion is that.
Oh,
What
that's
I'm saying?
sweet.
Kids with autism and stuff like that. But
what do you do with that? How do you help them?
so I've been a behavioral, the field is behavioral specialist or
Okay.
SOC, and we deal with kids with autism from, ranging from Asperger's, autism. The spectrum is so large, right? So I got
Right.
into that right out of college. Came full circle for me. As a youngster, I dealt with learning issues, and I was in classes where I needed extra help or extra tutors and stuff like that. So I was in the environment of kids that needed extra attention, special needs kids. Out of college, a great friend of mine kind of steered me into the direction of that, and from there it was just kind of taking off. Same with the music. I love being around the kids. I love being a positive influence. You want somebody who kind of has compassion and knows how to deal with those kind of students.
Right.
So, yeah, man, I was grateful for the position. I stayed with it. Now at the Visalia Unified School District. So I'm doing what I can there until something else happens. So, can't complain.
Love it.
Yep.
And how did you end up here from Venice Beach?
Yeah, my wife's family's from the Central Valley. So for years I've been lucky enough to come up here and visit for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Being from the big city, to me coming out here was a blessing. Like, get away from everything.
Right, I can see
The hustle
that.
and bustle. So, after a few years of doing it, it kind of just settled on us. Like, the quality of living is better. Obviously, I can do music from anywhere. Everything's digital now. LA and where I'm from is less than 3 hours away. I live better. I have a better peace of mind. I have a bigger house. The rent in LA.
I
the rent in LA
totally,
is
hey, I hear you.
Rent in LA is crazy. So yeah, my life's kind of changed, and I've been a guy my whole life that kind of follows, that energy, right? So it was just the right time to do it, and it worked out for the best. Ever since I've been out here, the connections and the artists that I've met, and it's been fantastic. I can't complain.
I totally understand, because I lived in LA for like 15 years, and then I started acting more being here than I
Right.
did when I was there, and I
Right.
just understand that it's like you kind of get this peace and calm where things
Oh, yeah.
settle, and you can kind
Yeah.
of do the same things. And
Yeah,
so, yeah, I
the
get
weather
it.
is better. It's just a lot slower.
Right,
a lot
right. Do you guys have kids?
No. We'll probably try to practice on that tonight or something. But
Well, you guys seem so cool. So what does your wife do? She'll be joining us
my
shortly.
wife, she used to. She did a lot of modeling.
That's the
back in the
first thing
day.
I thought when I saw her,
Yeah.
was model.
A lot of modeling, a lot of video work. Went on tour a lot with, Macy Gray. A lot of different people doing makeup for them. She's really heavy into beauty, heavy into fashion. She's a manager now at a company that pretty much has everything that smells good. But she's a jack of all trades too.
How'd you guys connect?
I met my wife at funny story. I was young, I was bumming it. I was at a studio with an older guy, like one of my mentors, and that's like 1 o'clock in the morning almost. He said, "Oh man, I'm supposed to be at a wedding party," and so we were just in the studio all day lounging, and we went directly how we were dressed to Hollywood, and we went to a wedding party that my wife's best friend, she was getting married the next day. And I noticed her as soon as I got there. She had this dress on. And the funny thing is, I'm like this kind of guy. So like in my mind, if I want something, I'm like, oh man, I deserve that. I'm gonna have that, right? So when I first saw my wife, I said, that's gonna be my girlfriend. Even though she was way out of my league, I thought, way out of my league. But long story short, we ended up giving her a ride home. I think a few days after that, maybe a few weeks after that, we finally got a chance to reconnect because I was always like, oh, we should hang out, and I would never go get her because I was always in the studio. So once we did, we were inseparable, from that day on.
I love that story.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together almost 16 years. We've been
Whoa.
married 6. Yeah. So, yeah, can't complain.
That's super cool. I love that story.
Changed my life for the better, definitely.
So
I was a knucklehead running around.
A lot of your songs about her?
There's a lot, almost every song is influenced by my wife in one way or another. Sometimes it'll be it'll be something that she may not agree with. Yeah. But everything, and what I mean by that is I'm conscious now about making music, especially speaking things into existence and not wanting that negative energy and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that I'm free to say and free to express myself, obviously, but there's a lot of things that I think about her first before I do it, because I don't want to put that energy out there. But yeah, pretty much everything is influenced by her. I mean, how could it not be?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And if you had to connect with anybody that you haven't connected with or collaborated with, who's like your ideal collab?
Wow. I mean, there's so many. I'm a student of the game, so if you're talking classic people, we can go back to Prince or Michael Jackson. Even though I do hip hop music.
Well, let's see someone that's possible for you to collab with. That's not dead.
Okay, so yeah, right. Somebody super creative would have to be like, I don't know. I'm not that type of person. There's so many. It'd have to be the day. Like, I would love to try to work. I would love to do music with Post Malone, great writer. I would love to do stuff with Jay-Z. My idols are those kind of guys. I love doing music with people that are fresh in the game and new, because we can learn from each other. And I love hearing different styles and different interpretations of what they're doing. But yeah, I don't really have, I'm not. It's weird to say I'm not really that guy. Like, I don't really get starstruck or like. I just appreciate what people bring to the table.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I appreciate a lot of people. So I would say there's a lot. I mean, everybody. I wouldn't turn down a chance to kind of work with anybody. Billie Eilish to Madonna. Really, I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Who do you think one of the most best artists we have locally that maybe we don't know about or underserved, or like who should we be looking out for?
Wow,
that's going to explode here.
There's a few. So first and foremost, shout out to my boy Big Yank. He's an artist from Fresno, and before his mishap, he's getting better now. He was one of the hypest guys that I've seen out here. I mean, big guy doing his thing. So Big Yank. We got artists like Young Echo. Tremendous artist from the Central Valley. You have artists, Cali Boy Bam's a great artist. I mean, one thing I learned about being in the Central Valley is that you can throw a rock pretty much in any direction and find talent. Kenzie Rose has been on your show. She's amazing. You have artists like, under the same management as me, Stevie Fuego. We got Kid Kane. We have the Monsters. I mean, it depends on what kind of music you're really looking for. You know what I mean? So Central Valley is definitely full of amazing artists. Reason why we created Flow TV, to get that really out there, because being in this little pocket is hard to really expand out. You know what I mean? So yeah, but there's a lot. There's a lot of them.
I heard we have a birthday coming up. Whose birthday's coming up?
Oh yeah, so my wife's birthday's coming up on Friday, so we're getting ready for that. I got a show Saturday. It's gonna be a busy weekend, so we're pretty much gonna be out all day.
Oh my, where's the big party gonna be? Her 22nd. Where are we gonna do this?
Oh yeah, 22nd birthday party at your house, right?
Yeah, there we go. Come on, you gotta come do a little walkthrough. This model, I don't know how you landed her either. That's the first thing I thought when I saw her. But you know what?
Mwah.
Oh, happy birthday, beautiful.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, where can we follow? Tell us, you said we can follow you on Instagram. Where can we follow you?
On Instagram, I am Deslyn. On Instagram, I am DESLYN.
Awesome.
Ladies, you want that makeup done? I'm telling you.
Oh.
Makeup artist extraordinaire right here.
Wow, I am definitely gonna link up with you, girl.
Do.
I
Call
will.
me whenever. You can get my phone number after this.
I love that.
And you can hang out,
Awesome.
and you can come to my birthday party.
I love that. And everybody go to her Instagram and DM her about makeup deals. Thanks so much for coming on my show, guys.
Sparkle, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Central Valley, I love you guys, man. Thank you for supporting me, holding me down. At the GOAT Billy Sales on Instagram, billysales.com. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming on my show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So you have a really interesting life and story, and it's really inspirational. Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
So pretty much I've had cancer 5 times. I've had 12 surgeries. I've had 2 on my lung, 10 on my arm itself. And
just the left arm?
Yeah, just the left arm all the way up here.
Wow.
The last surgery was 13 hours with 5 different surgeons. So they did a vein graft, a nerve graft. They took out parts of my bone. They did radiation at the same time. And I'm forgetting another one.
So they told you might lose it at that point, right? That was the prognosis of like a possibility.
Yeah, so I had a 15-centimeter tumor just grow randomly when I was 20. Yeah, and so it just kept growing, and they just kept testing it, saying they didn't know what it was, and so that's why they couldn't take it all the way out. Then by the time they got to it, it was 15 centimeters, and it had it all enveloped and had done
How does that
so
even
much damage.
happen? Wow.
So
one day you're just like, oh yeah, this isn't normal. Okay, this is hard. What is this? It was
it pretty much, you couldn't even see it. It was, I came back from the gym and I told my boyfriend at the time, like, hey, I feel this weird like bump.
Everyone thought you pulled something.
Yeah, like, oh you just pulled something, whatever. And then it like kept growing and growing, and then I got pregnant. And so it made it like really grow. And then that's when the OB was like, what's that in your arm? And I was like, I don't know. And they were like, what do you mean you don't know? I was like, well, I don't know. It's just been growing. And then you can't do any testing when you're pregnant. So a whole 9 months went with no testing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was before any of the biopsies. And so.
How scary.
Then it just kept going and going.
Did it hurt?
It didn't hurt. That was the weirdest thing, was I didn't feel sick and it didn't hurt. So it was just like a big pimple. It didn't hurt.
So when you were done, after you gave birth and everything, how long did you wait to just go and figure it out?
So they waited about 3 months for postpartum and let your body like get all like reorganized. And then they started on their biopsies, and I was going up to UCSF probably every other weekend. And they were just doing test after test, surgery after surgery, taking little bits and pieces, but still leaving like the whole mass there. And then it was about a year of testing until they were like, okay, now we know for sure it's cancerous and we're going to take it out.
So what kind of cancer was it considered?
The tumor itself is a peripheral nerve sheath tumor.
Okay.
So it's a type of nerve cancer. And it just latches onto your little nerve and then grows. And either it'll grow in one spot or it'll spread like all over your body. And you can have lumps all over your body. And so I was like, I'm glad I only had like the one.
So what's with the kidney liver thing?
So it started in my lung.
Oh, the lung. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Instead, yeah. So after they took this all out, everything was going good for like a whole year, clean scans, and they kept checking my lungs during this whole process. And I was like, why are you checking my lungs for? It's in my arm. And they said it was because it has potential to go, that's the first place it would go. And so then after a year of clean scans, it went into my lung. And so then that's when I ended up having the lung surgery.
Twice?
Yeah, twice. And then it showed up again. And so.
No way. This is really fascinating. Because I've interviewed a lot of cancer, and I was like, this is a new thing for me.
Yeah. So it's definitely different, definitely rare. I felt fine.
Was cancer ever in your family?
So, no, more like heart disease
Okay.
and like kidney failure, more stuff like that. But nobody in my family has nodules and that are like cancerous or breast cancer or anything.
So what
like
were the
that.
stages of all this? Did you have a stage of?
So it was pretty much a stage of,
Like a stage one?
feeling like when I felt it, and then it grew, and once it was fully developed, and they knew it was cancerous, they just told me that they needed to take it out. They actually never gave me like what stage it was in, because I kept asking, because you hear about it on the shows, and it was like, well, what is this? And they just said that they really needed to take it out. That they were kind of vague with that.
So there wasn't any type of chemo? Was there a type of radiation?
So I did do radiation. They did radiation directly in that last major surgery, and then I had to do 9 weeks of it immediately afterwards.
Oh my gosh, how was that experience?
So that was the hardest part. I lost like all my weight. I was down to 103 pounds, and I couldn't eat. I couldn't even swallow. Like the idea of swallowing food was disgusting. I didn't want anything to do with it at all.
Did you get any water in you, girl?
We drank water and Boost. Boost is how I survived.
Okay.
Trying to drink
was
3
okay,
Boosts
okay.
a day. That was like the thing. And then
The swallowing liquids is okay, just not food.
yeah, just no. Even just drinking the Boost was like
A lot, because it was
disgusting.
yeah.
It was just, it didn't even sound appetizing. It's just everything about food was gross, and I love food, so that's how you know there was something wrong.
Oh my gosh! So what was it like with your family? What did they think? I mean, you just have this baby that you can't really appreciate because you were trying to survive. How was that experience?
So it was really hard. I have 2 boys.
Okay.
So his brother was already 2.5, and then I have this newborn, and so I couldn't hold my kids. And so that was hard. Everyone gets to hold them. They're so cute. They're so tiny. And so it really hurts being a mom, not being able to, really have those like nurturing moments in the beginning with them, So I'm like all over him now because I'm like, I get all rough with him. But it was really hard going through trying to be a mom, a young 21-year-old mom of 2 kids for 2 different dads, trying to keep income coming in,
Right.
trying to be alive all at the same time.
I would imagine.
So it was very overwhelming.
Was that strenuous on your relationships?
Yeah, with me and my ex, it was really stressful, because we had just gotten together, and then boom, I ended up being pregnant, and then boom, I ended up having cancer.
And then you're not as useful as a mom as you want to,
Yeah.
so he has to kind of step in.
Yeah, and then also provide, income and do pretty much everything, both roles.
Because you had to work on surviving and being as much as a mom
Yeah.
as you could.
Yeah. So it was really hard in our relationship. We're good now, but, it was really just not, it really wasn't easy,
Wow.
So it was really hard to maintain. But something that I noticed in myself when I was going through it all, I never actually said that I have that. I still won't even say it out loud because I'm very like what you say is like you bring that onto yourself. And so I never actually accepted that I had it. It was just every time they would call me, okay, we're going to do this test. Okay, we're going to do the surgery. And
So you kind of took it in steps.
Yeah.
It'd be overwhelming to think. I knew the process was still unknown, so
Yeah.
you had to only take it one day at a time.
Mm-hmm. And so that's how I just lived it. I lived more of like a day-to-day basis and not as futuristic. But I just never accepted okay, this is all that I'm going to do. I just know that I was meant to do more than that.
How long have you been since the last? How long have you been kind of out of the woods?
So I've been out of the woods for 2 years now.
Okay.
I had my last lung surgery in 2020. And so far, so good, clean scans and everything. Go up to UCSF. You have to go every 6 months. For
okay, so that's a thing you keep on going, and then every time you're like,
yeah. So it's like a lot of anxiety. I try not to get like really anxious, but it's hard, you know. And then I do an MRI. They do of my arm, and then they'll do a CT of my chest.
So what can you do now? Like, can we work out? Can we do stuff, or like not really?
So my surgeons, because there's about almost like $1 million in my arm after everything. They are
That's a very expensive arm.
Very expensive arm. Left too. They're very funny about your left arm. And but no, I was like, I want to do a bodybuilding show, and they were like, Kim, like you can't. So first things first, because of what they've taken out, my mobility with my arm is I can't supinate, so I can't turn my arm over. It just goes this far.
What about raising?
So I can like raise my arm here, but if you were to like hand me something, if I was to grab it, my arm goes like out. I wouldn't be able to like hold it.
So even like a pencil?
Yeah, I can't hold a pencil right.
So can you grab this?
But it's like awkward.
Oh, but that's good. You can put the weight on that
But it's
though,
heavy.
so that's at least good.
That's a little
was
heavy.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you do pick up your son, you put all the weight on this one, the right arm.
Yeah.
And then.
So like mobility wise, that's where like it comes into like, oh, like I can't do certain things, but like what I do is, I mean, we just went to Defy. I like to still try and do my flips. I redid a cartwheel and a round off. Haven't done those in forever.
Well, that's really good because you do need the weight.
Yeah. So I kind of like leverage it a little bit more on my right side, but I still am trying to be as active as possible. I still throw the football with my oldest, you know, play basketball. I mean, I pretty much am just trying to still be. I really forget a lot of the times that my arm is like that. Because I just am like, okay, let's do this. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Let's try this. You know.
So they said no on the bodybuilding competition.
They said like,
or just that side. That's just
to
one
like
side.
take it easy. And I was like, oh, okay, so like I'm definitely gonna train for a bodybuilding competition, and I think it would be really fun.
It is just one side. I
mean, it's fine. If I lose, I lose. But I think it'd be really fun to like go and do it. My mom did bodybuilding. My stepdad did bodybuilding.
That.
So
how active were you? So you were in gymnastics. What kind of sports were you in growing up?
So I did dance and gymnastics the most. I'm really athletic, but we didn't really get to play a lot of sports. We moved like schools a lot, and so I would have played every single sport, you know, but I didn't get to play it in school. But I definitely played them at recess.
Nice.
So yeah, I love football, you know, but like playing sports, like as growing up, it really was just dance and gymnastics the most.
And you moved around a lot. Why'd you move around a lot?
I don't know. My life story is like really complicated. So we moved around a lot in the beginning because my parents were together. I was born in Tucson, Arizona, and then we moved to Georgia because that's where my biological dad's family is from. Mm-hmm. And then my mom left my dad in the middle of the night because he had a drug issue. And so then we went to Florida. Then we lived in Florida for a little bit, and then we went on a train when I was 4 and rode it from Florida to San Jose because that's where my uncles were. We stayed with my uncle for a little bit, and then my mom met my stepdad, who we call Dad, and then they got together, and then they had their house in San Jose, and we were there until I was in 3rd grade, so like 8. And then we moved to Fresno. He got a job here, and so we moved here. And then I went to elementary school here, and then 7th grade I went to Rayburn. 8th grade, though, my mom was like weary. You know, she was a little religious, so she was kind of weary about things that girls were talking about and doing in 8th grade, so she homeschooled us for 8th grade. And then my dad was working with the dad of a teacher at University High at Fresno State, so then we went to University High for freshman and half a sophomore year, but then I didn't want to go there anymore, so I failed all my classes on purpose. And so my parents put us in Clovis High, public school, and then that's how I graduated.
Why didn't you like University High?
I didn't like it. Looking back, obviously, it's like, okay, like that was really great. Like I could have done really well there. I didn't like it because it wasn't like how high school looked like on TV.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because I'm coming off of being homeschooled. You know, we have missed a whole year of that. And then to go into high school, it was just so arts accumulated, and that's just not where I was at yet.
You wanted to experience high school.
Yeah, I wanted to experience like high school football games.
Right.
I wanted to have lockers. I wanted to go to all my different classes, even though I was doing well with the college classes.
I love it. That was really interesting that you were all over the United States before 3rd grade. That was like such a big loop that you just made. That's like you made a circle.
Yeah.
With a little gap. That's so funny. Wow, what an interesting life. Okay, so then, where'd you end up going to college at?
So I was going to Fresno City for a little bit. I really didn't have like a life plan, Honestly, my boyfriend in high school is the only one who was like, hey, so like, what are you going to do after high school? And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, we're going to graduate. Like, you got to like have a plan. I was like, well, I work at Taco Bell, And he's like, okay, but like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. I always wanted to be a lawyer. He's like, Kim, you have to go to like a lot of schooling, Like, what do you want to do? And so I just started taking classes at Fresno City and going for my paralegal certificate at the time. And then I ended up getting pregnant with my first son, got married, so I did all of that. So right now I'm doing University of Phoenix. I'll finish with my AA at the end of this month, and then I'll finish my bachelor's in accounting in 2024.
Wow, you're one busy woman.
Yeah.
But I love it how nothing got you down, because I mean, you could have played the whole like, I'm wounded.
My arm's disabled. Like, I wouldn't have to work for a really long time.
Oh, right.
Like,
yeah,
forever,
you could get
really.
disability if you wanted to. So you were kind of like, no, I want to do things.
Yeah, I was like, well, like, my arm's not able to do things, but like, I'm able to do things, And
I
was
love
like,
that. What a great story.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, there's no way I could sit at home all day, every day, and just get whatever the state says I like or deserve. Like, no, I'll go out and just make my own money. That's okay.
So how old are the kids now?
So my oldest is 10 and my youngest is 8.
Now, what do they think about all this?
It's so like normal to them, And so they're just used to me like, okay, let's go try this. Let's do this. Let's do that. And so the only time they've really seen it, like, I think that they'll remember was like the last lung surgery, It's because I can't be up and moving and being as active, And so, but they're really sweet. I love them. They're just like, they're crazy, but it's just fun.
That is really cool. And then your family has been supportive the whole time?
Yeah, I've had really good family support. My mom just recently moved to Georgia, so it's been a little weird, like, without her.
Wait, back to the place where they were at oh, wow. What how interesting.
And then they're going to buy a house in South Carolina, so, yeah, that's just...
That is so funny.
It's just, that's how complicated my life is.
So do you belong to any like cancer groups? Did you find any comfort in any, because there's like a lot of Facebook groups or whatever. Did you talk to other people going through what you were going through?
So I looked for some different groups, but I just didn't really like find something that was like that I felt like I could really fit into. And some of it just had to do with how positive I really am. A lot of them just, it's really sad and it's really hard, what you're going through, but they kind of sit in that, I don't want to come off harsh, but it's like, I want to be like, hey, like, let's get through this together. Let's be positive. Let's eat healthy. Let's drink water. Let's go for a walk. What do you want to do? Let's think about things we want to do when we're out of surgery, when we're not in the hospital bed, or when we're not in pain, kind of those kinds of things. But something I did find that I really liked was there's a group in Fresno, and it's, what is it? One Woman at a Time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so I went to a fundraiser for a friend of mine, and for her and her man, and I really loved that idea. And it was just, you go to dinner, all the proceeds go, to them. They do all their raffles and all that, And so I really liked doing that, inviting my family and friends to come to that and support other families and women in town. That was more exciting to me and more fun. And I have my own ideas of what I want to do. I just need to meet some people,
Can you tell us some of those ideas, or is there one you want to share?
Yeah. I mean, I've had some ideas of like, local women, men, whoever that are disabled or going through this hard time with them physically, to do like a little makeover and like a dinner, like a fashion show with like a local, boutique, get them dressed up, make them feel good for the night.
I love that idea.
And then some of the proceeds going to them and helping them out, But like just giving them a night to feel good, because you don't feel good, you don't feel like yourself. It's always a doctor's appointment.
Gosh, especially when you had all those surgeries. Wow.
Yeah. So that's why, something like that to help people feel better while they're getting through it, but also like financially, like actually help them out.
That's a great idea. And it must have been weird to find, like, because you have such a rare, like, your experience, like I said, is really rare of anything I've heard of. It must have been weird to kind of have that and have no one to really talk to you about, like, how
It's
you just
hard.
have a mass on your arm and,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Because you weren't facing a life or death. It was just really weird cancer.
Exactly. And then it's like everybody around me is either getting married and starting a family or starting their career or just out partying, doing whatever. So it was really hard to find,
The niche of just, like, normal
like,
people that
hey.
are like...
You got something on your arm?
How funny. Well, I hope you start. That'd be really cool to do like a dinner like that and a fundraiser. So I hope you get that going.
Thank you.
So if anyone wants to follow you and get inspiration or reach out to you or DM you, what's a good place to reach you?
You can always reach me on Instagram, at Kimmy, _ KimmyXO, KYMMIXO. And I love to make my TikToks. TikTok's the same thing.
Oh, right on. Okay.
So yeah, I love my TikTok. I love doing my dances. I love transitions. I just love, being creative, and also just being there for people. For anybody who deals with like domestic violence, anybody who deals with just life is overwhelming to them in general, like I'm always here for anybody, really.
Have people been reaching out to you?
Yeah, they do actually. And sometimes guys reach out to me too that are like, hey, because I'll mention about like, okay, like guys have to hold such a masculine, frame. They can't be emotional, and it's like it's okay to cry, bro. Like if you don't, like you're gonna get really crazy, And so I do have guys that reach out to me. They're like, wow, like I didn't even know, it's just such a day-to-day drowning that you don't even realize that it's like maybe you don't want to be a macho man, you can be whoever you want to be, So I do get a lot of people that reach out to me. And it's usually on like the most random thing that you don't even know is like gonna really matter. It really does matter to people. So I like to be there for people for sure.
I love that. You were super positive. Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So we are here today at the Summer Fox in Fresno, and we have a location in Clovis. Dustin Jon, tell us all about it.
Oh, our location in Clovis.
All about here.
All about Summer Fox.
Have you been here?
So we've been here for a little over 2 years now.
Okay.
So, and then Summer Fox, we did have to change our name about a year ago. So
what was it before Summer Fox?
Amalgamation Brewing.
I could see why you changed it.
It's okay. But so this coming couple months is our year anniversary, and we thought we would expand, and we found a nice little place up in Clovis, a little southbound of Shaw, and it was an old brewery, so it was all set up, and we just got really lucky and came in there and we're trying to give something to the public over there that they didn't have instead of going into downtown.
Yeah, I live closer to that area, to the Clovis area. That's where I heard about you guys. And so, who brews the beers?
Our master brewer is Alex Van Horn. So he came actually from San Diego, made his way around Wichita, and then circled back into Fresno somehow. So fell into us. He's been here for a little over a year now, and we're brewing over 24 different styles on draft at all times. So he's killing it. He's rocking it.
And who comes up with it? Like, if I have like, hey, I want like a citrus beer, like who talks to him?
We kind of all do. We kind of just like mingle every week and think about what type of styles of beers we're going to put on, and we go from there. I don't come up with the names, because I'm not that creative. So all the names are totally him. So, but every style of beer is kind of what's out in the market, what's going on. Like right here, we have like a little watermelon wheat, since it was 115 just a couple weeks ago. So we thought that would be a good, easy summer drinking beer.
Crisp and refreshing. It tastes really good with the watermelon in it. You said it's a garnish?
Don't you wish? Yeah, we're going to garnish that. Next time you come in, we got you.
That's amazing. So, John, tell us about what you do here. You have a lot to do with the bands, or
I do. Yeah, I book a lot of the bands at both our venues, especially in the Clovis area, but we are bringing a lot more bands here as well, and we have a lot of events in Clovis also. This October 1st is our Foxtoberfest, we call it. So we are always releasing new beers, but come through at 12 p.m. at both locations on Saturday. We're going over for Oktoberfest. We have our own steins, It's a Stein giveaway. We're going to have games. We're going to have music. We're going to have bands. It's going to be fun.
Oh, that sounds like fun. So what's the date on that?
October 1st.
So just October 1st. It's not going to be like the whole month of October of partying. Come on, guys.
It's a 1-day event, but if you do buy a Stein that day, then you can bring it back all month long at a discounted price and fill that thing up.
Okay, now we're talking. That's my jam. Let's do that. So is it going to have Summer Fox on the Stein?
Yes, it does.
It says Foxtoberfest?
No. I don't know if it does.
I
But
know.
It says Summer Fox.
I love that. Okay, so you do bands both places. How does that get a little complicated? You guys are like ran thin because your places are a little bit like 25 minutes away from each other ish.
I mean, a lot of bands, they know exactly where our Clovis location is, where our Fresno location is, and they love both spots. So they're very understanding, and a lot of the bands play at both spots too. Now, obviously not the same day, but throughout the weeks they do.
What's your favorite beer?
My favorite beer? Oh, I would say probably the Mr. Wolf Brown. Really tasty.
I'd love to know the story behind the name of that. Come on, does somebody know? Tell me one of you guys
We got to
know.
bring in the name curator for that one.
Oh, is he around? Well, I'll go find him. We'll go get him.
Just want to go on a mission and find him.
John, you go on the mission to find him.
I'll see if I can track it down.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and so what's your position here, Dustin? You kind of run both places.
I am the general manager of both locations, so I oversee both Fresno and Clovis tap rooms. I also oversee all our sales, distribution, logistics, because we are now distributing into the market. So a lot of accounts about 2 months ago. So we have about 30 or 40 accounts out in the market.
So where can we go and buy this?
Multiple places. You can go to Yard House, Tin Tavern, Colton's, Kunisama.
Tin Tavern. I haven't heard of that one.
It's over there on Willow and Knees, up right next to the point.
Oh, right on. I'll have to go check it out. So your favorite beer out of all the beers?
Man, that's a tough question. But I would have to say Breaker. It's a West Coast IPA, real traditional, a little maltier than the hop forward IPAs that you get these days. And I've been in the beer industry for quite some time now. I don't want to age myself, but yeah, so I'm really into like the old school styles.
So you couldn't find them?
No, I couldn't find it.
Did you ask him about the name of the?
Did find the Stein though that we're giving away.
It has a fox.
Yeah,
Okay.
it does have Fox on it. It's very.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna break this if I was having that good of a time.
It's plastic. No,
Okay, so if we want to have book events, do we go to which one do we go to?
So if you guys we are doing events now and birthday parties. We even had a wedding where we're standing right now at one point in time. So everything's booked through on social media, and then they reach out to my email, and then I take care of it from there. So pretty much every event goes through me.
But if you're a band that wants to play, you go through this guy.
Yeah, you go through me.
And then where on social, or where do we find you?
On social media, or you can email me as well. Summer Fox Brewery 2022 at Gmail.
Wow. Okay, so I get this question a lot, and it's not to be like offensive, but people are like, "There's so many breweries in town. Why are people starting more breweries?" So, what's your answer to that?
There is a lot of breweries in town, and everyone has a little niche. I think where we stand out is we have so many different profiles of beers. It's not just an IPA house. We have browns, we have red ales, we have Marzens, we have about 15 different styles of beers out of our 24 drafts, and I think that's what people really like, because not everybody likes an IPA, not everybody likes a Hefeweizen, but we fit everybody's realm in the beer industry.
So you're getting that feedback that like, hey, the beers are a little bit better than we're having at other places.
I don't know I wouldn't say better. It's
just more variety.
Variety, yeah. Because every brewery has their own niche. There's a lot of good breweries in Fresno. It's just how do we set ourselves apart, and that's how we're doing it with so many different varieties. So we reach out to every clientele base.
Well, that is true, because I did go to a brewery the other day that had, they didn't even have food and like other choices. I actually ended up getting a cider because I'm all about the brown beers, but then the one they had was like a 15%. I didn't want to get that plastered that day, so I was like, oh, and then I was stuck kind of like with a cider. So I do like the fact that you guys have a lot of varieties.
Yes, the ciders are actually very popular these days. Everything fruit forward, light, easy drinking is really going, especially in Clovis. Like a lot of Clovis people like the really light beers. And then in Fresno, we're selling just as much. It's weird. Like, and we don't brew the ciders here, but we do have guest ciders just to fill.
Well, I didn't want this. I didn't want to settle for the cider. I wanted a beer because, of course, I got made fun of for going to the brewery and getting the cider. But I was like, I didn't want to have a 15% beer, and I don't like IPA, so I was kind of stuck. So I appreciate the variety here.
Yeah, a 15% beer. That's
Good.
How
Hey,
many of those did you drink that night?
I didn't. That's why I had to drink a cider. What's the deal with food? How do we do that?
So our food, we do have it's not a huge menu, but we do have pizzas, nachos, tacos, pretzels.
I saw the pretzels look so good. Is that just for the beer fest, or is that all the time?
No, it's all the time. We sell them year round.
And then do you have like a cheese batter dipping sauce?
We do have a homemade cheese sauce, homemade salsa. Very good, very tasty.
Oh, that sounds delicious. Okay, well you don't need a big menu for food. You just need, if you have good beers, I'll eat anything at that point. You know, so having pizza and
Having
bread,
something just for someone to eat. You
yeah,
know,
you
like
just have to have the food. I mean,
yeah. And then for our Foxtoberfest on October 1st, we're bringing in Rocket Dog, which our owners actually own as well. So we'll be incorporating brats on that day as well if you do come out.
so tell us about the owners. What do they? So they own that. They own this. What else did they do?
They own both Summer Fox locations and Rocket Dog. So, and then I don't know. That's a great question.
Have you tried the Rocket Dog?
Oh yeah, I love the Rocket Dog. Their food's fantastic.
So seems like a great pairing because there's nothing like a hot dog and a beer.
If you never had Rocket Dog food, you got to get out there if you haven't. Amazing food, which we are incorporating. It's fun that we can promote each place, and then we can, when people do book events here and parties, we can bring in Rocket Dog food as well.
Well, I mean, where's Rocket Dog?
It's located on Shaw and Blackstone, right there right off the 41.
Well, it's another thing that I have to put on the list to try. But having that with beer is really good because I bet when you have it there, they don't have beer, huh?
They do have beer there.
Yeah. Do they have this beer?
They have yes, they do. So
it's an actual like restaurant place. Okay.
Yeah, they just had their 7-year anniversary there last week. So
Wow. Okay. Is it a sit-down place?
it is sit down. I would say fast casual, if I had to choose, but I mean I'm in no position to say what they are, but fast casual is what I would say it is.
So if I want to have the beer bottled in cans to take home, where do I go for that?
Ooh. Summer Fox beer? No, I'm just
Summer
messing.
Fox beer.
No, so in Clovis we do have cans to go. Unfortunately, Fresno, we're getting that set up here. So if you are out and about and you want to share some amazing Summer Fox beers, just go to Clovis, get some 60-ounce cans, and take them home, share them with everybody.
Right on. And then what about at the stores? Are you guys in any stores to purchase beer yet or not yet?
We don't can beer, so it's only like in the tap room. So we don't sell to the stores yet. Just in bars and restaurants.
And then growlers. Do we do growlers?
Yes, we do.
Oh, do we have to bring them in or do you guys provide?
We provide, or you can bring in any one of your favorite local breweries, and we'll fill it still.
That's awesome. It's just going to be like mismarked.
Yeah.
So there is a way to get your beer if I'm at home and I don't want to drive all the way here.
I don't like saying no to anybody. You bring in any growler, we'll fill it. We'll make sure.
That's awesome. And so you've been with the company for like a little bit now. What have you noticed since you've been here compared to like other breweries?
A lot of diversity when it comes to our beer. A lot of thought process when it comes to even the mind or the name or how we make a watermelon wheat or even like a cucumber wheat. It's all different. I never tasted beer like this before.
Well, you probably know all the inner secrets of how to just make it slightly different.
Not as much as I would hope, but I'm getting there. Do
you guys ever worry about the incident that happened at Riley's and the whole thing when poof and smoke? Do you guys worry about accidents like that happening here?
Every day. Every day. So, I'm very unfortunate that's happened to, and it's not just Riley's. It's, Grayview is going to be brewing in our Clovis location too. And unfortunately, they burned down about 1.5 years ago. So they'll be taking over our brewery in Clovis and brewing their beer out of there. So it's nice to team up with another brewery, help them out.
So what does that mean?
But
you said they're going to be brewing at that place. So at the Clovis Summer Fox location, someone else is going to be brewing their beer.
Yes. So they're really good friends with all of us, and unfortunately, circumstances, they didn't have a brewery anymore. So we brew everything here, and then we had another brewery over there. So they'll be producing their beer there and selling it out.
So they're going to be selling their beer at Summer Fox as well, or
I
just?
think they'll just be producing it there and selling it to accountants.
Oh wow! Well, that's really nice of you guys.
You know, the brewery industry is like so like we're all one team. You know, we kind of compete against each other at the same time, but we're all there for each other. So, like for instance, when Riley's went down, everybody's out there to help. We hired a couple of Riley's employees. We're helping out other ones. All the breweries really stepped up in the Fresno area to help them out.
That's really cool. So no Summer Fox beer is going to be brewed at Clovis yet, as of yet.
Not yet. We're about a month out, but pretty much 95% of it will be brewed here. And then we have a couple of special ideas of what we're going to do with the brewery over there.
So my last question is, you guys pretty much started during COVID with Summer Fox in general. How the heck did you guys launch that and decide that was a good time to launch the business?
I mean, that would be a question for one of our owners, but I know they did start. I've been here for about 8 months now, so I didn't get to go through all the pains of COVID. I can only imagine what happened and what they dealt with. But, I mean, it's more about the future than what happened in the past. I mean, COVID. Hopefully.
Oh, I'm thinking it's really like awesome that they did that. I was just kind of wondering what with their thought process. I'm sure it was a plan, and then they were like, they might have like delayed, but then to think like, oh no, we're gonna still do it anyways. I think that's really cool.
I mean, I think it's awesome, and they made it, you know, and not everybody can say they made it through those tough times, but I mean, we're growing at a rapid pace now. So yes, they probably struggled through a little bit of times, but now they're seeing like what it was like to make it through and be a really cool up and coming brewery.
So the live music, what nights should we go for that?
As of right now, it's going to be every Saturday, occasional Fridays at both locations.
And then Sundays, you said there's karaoke or open mic?
Yep, Sunday's karaoke, open mic. At our Clovis location, every Tuesday is going to be trivia. Every Wednesday is going to be line dancing lessons. And every Thursday is going to be open mic.
Trivia? Which one of you guys is smarter at trivia?
Oh, don't even ask me. No, I would lose.
So you're the brains of the trivia?
No, I'm not.
So that should be the fun night. Like, let's see how we can beat the employees at Summer Fox. I like that. We're going to add a little twist to it.
Yeah, and if they can beat us, which everyone should be able to.
No, yeah, free beers. I love it. I just like really, I helped and I put your guys' intelligence to the test. So where do we follow you on social media?
On Summer Fox, Facebook, Instagram, and John, do we have any other ones?
Just Summer Fox Brewery Clovis on Facebook.
So there's separate ones. There's a Fresno and a Clovis, right?
Yeah, just because we have so many events going on in both different locations, we got to make sure we're posted correctly.
Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh I must confess dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you, and I don't want your loving, I don't wanna be just friends, knowing all this time we were playing pretend, playing pretend, playing pretend, ooh, playing pretend.
It's a mystery.